Morning.
Morning.
Happy Father's Day. I'll do my Father's Day sermon next week. Right now, deacon's part of the deacon's job is to preach every once in a while. This is how he learns. So today, Deacon Josh is going to come and give us our sermon.
Father's Day. Ezekiel 22:30. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy what I found done. The way of being a good father. You will not be a good father until you are a good man. It is a dying art today. There are not many in our nation anymore. Thank God we do have a few good men. We can always use a few more. Men don't always say what they mean. Ladies, please allow me to translate for your future benefit. When a man says it would take too long to explain, he means I have no idea how it works. When a man says, take a break, honey, you're working too hard, it means I can't hear the game of the vacuum cleaner. When a man says, that's interesting, dear, he means, are you still talking? When a man says, it's a guy thing, he means there is no rational thought pattern connected with this, and you have no chance at all of making it logical. When a man says, can I help with dinner? He means, why isn't it ready yet? When a man says, sure, honey, or yes, dear, he means absolutely nothing. It's a conditional or a conditioned response. When a man says, you know how bad my memory is, he means I can remember the theme song to Hogan's Heroes, the phone number of the first girl I ever kissed, and the vehicle identification numbers of every car I ever owned. But yes, I forgot your birthday. When a man says, oh, don't fuss, I just cut myself, it's no big deal, he means I have probably severed a limb, but I will bleed to death before I admit I am hurt. So get over here and help me. When a man says I can't find it, he means it didn't fall into my outstretched hand, so I'm completely clueless. A man says I heard you. He means I haven't the foggiest clue what you just said. And I am hoping desperately that I can fake it well enough so that you will spend the next 3 days yelling at me. When a man says, you know, I could never love anyone else, he means I am used to the way you yell at me and realize it could be worse. When a man says, you look terrific, he means, oh please don't try on one more outfit. We're late and I'm starving. When a man says, I don't think I can go today, he means shopping is not a sport. And no, I am never going to think of it that way. When a man says, I don't remember saying that, it's because he means anything I may have said 6 months ago is inadmissible in an argument. In fact, all past comments become null and void after 7 days. When a man says that's not what I meant, he means if something I said can be interpreted 2 ways, and if one of those ways makes you sad or angry, I meant the other one. If your husband says, honey, what color is this? He means all men see in is only 16 colors, like windows, the fall settings. Peach, for example, is a fruit, not a color. Pumpkin is also a fruit. I have no idea what top is. We thank God for the few good men He sent us. Now that we're out of the comical relief, as we are in the baseball, this is the season of baseball, hot dogs and family vacations, and since this is Father's Day, I thought I would share with you a story I read in the issue of Focus on the Family Magazine about a young man who appreciates his role as a father. Tim Burke was a major league pitcher for the Montreal Expos, with potentially a number of baseball years still ahead of him. He retired at the age of 33. The question, of course, is why? Tim and his wife could have no children. Over time, they were led to adopt 4 Korean children, all with special needs. As Tim realized the demands this put on his wife to be mother, father, doctor, mover, plumber, secretary, etc., he decided he would give up the game he loved in order to be a major league dad and a major league husband. Christine was particularly moved by her husband's decision for a number of reasons. She knew how much he loved baseball, but realized through his decision how much he loved God, her, and their children. Christine was especially touched by Tim's dedication to their children because her father had left before she was, although a puzzlement to numerous baseball fans, was to them clear decision to be there for their family. It stands as an excellent example of good decision making in the midst of a society in which family values are in decline. Turn your attention to another effective father whose decisions to be there is crucial to our understanding of God's intentions for the Christian father today. The plight of the prodigal son is a familiar biblical story that has been repeated for the benefit of many young people throughout the ages, and it surely is repeated today. The primary message of this parable is, of course, that of the prodigal. Came to himself, that is, repented of his sin, and thus was restored in his relationship with his family. But did you ever consider or wonder what may have happened to this young prodigal if his father had not been waiting in the pathway as he made those last humbling steps towards home? Let us concentrate on just one verse of the scripture, Luke 15:20. It appears to me that 3 of the phrases in this verse provide sound wisdom for the man of God who desires to be an effective father. The first phrase is, but while he is still far off. Reading through this parable a number of times, I got the distinct feeling that this father, although loving his son enough to let go, never stopped praying until his son's safe return. You see, the father could have said to himself, that unappreciative brat, he took my money and went. Well, now he's on his own. I wash my hands of him. My responsibility is over. Yet that is not what we see here. Instead, we see a father preparing for his son's return as he waits for the Holy Spirit to touch the heart of the young prodigal. What do you do when your children are far off? That can range from being away at college, not living up to expectations, or to God's expectations for them, to making home life chaotic because of their rebellion against authority, to growing up faster than necessary, to a lack of appreciation for all you do on their behalf. What do you do? The advice we receive from this parable from the lips of Jesus is to be there. The prodigal's father did not give up. He exercised patience. He was able to wait on the Lord. That can only happen if that father has a close and ongoing relationship with the Lord himself. Is that true of you? Do you have a personal relationship with Christ that enables you to trust God eternally as well as daily? Tim Burke's close relationship with the Lord enabled him to make what others would have considered a crazy decision. In the parable, a pre-established relationship with God enabled the father to literally wait in the pathway until his son would come to his senses through the power of God. Those of you who have been through those moments with sons and daughters know that it requires spiritual staying power. If you're going through that at this moment, I would encourage you to trust God and seek His face daily in prayer. Those who may one day be in the position of the prodigal father are wise if they establish a spiritual foundation, while it is easier to do so. And then beyond his ability to wait, our text tells us that the prodigal's father was filled with compassion. His mercy was like the mercy of God. Imagine having your mercy and compassion. Do you realize that one of the reasons why they are so many dysfunctional adults running around today is because they've never heard the words, "I love you," or "You are forgiven," from a compassionate Christian father? It happens because a father abdicates by leaving a marriage or his role as a father. It happens because a father has never experienced God's forgiveness himself. Therefore, forgiving others, particularly his own children, becomes insurmountable. It happens because the models he had growing up were negative, or worse yet, abusive. Consider what you want for your children to remember you most for. If you're going on one side of the paternal ledger, it seems to me that compassion and caring is the one side to which err. What did Jesus do? Did he spend more time caring and loving his disciples or chastising them? Luke 15:20 tells us that included in this father's forgiveness was a ready response. The text says he put his arms around him and kissed him. Do you think the prodigal knew he was forgiven? You bet he did. The festival that followed was icing on the cake. But his father left no room for doubt that he loved and forgave his son as immediately as he put his arms around him and hugged him. Many fathers still need to know that a hug given at the right time beats a new bicycle or a new glove or an iPod every time. Many modern day parents try to buy their children's affection or respect, when in many cases, a little verbal and physical affirmation is all that is required. Do you think there is any significance to the fact that one of the last things Jesus did before he went on the cross was to wash his disciples' feet? I think it was his way of hugging them and telling them that they were forgiven and that he wanted them to forgive others. Some fathers say, beyond being the recipient of a new tithe or being envisioned by children as merely a provider or a disciplinarian, I would like to be an effective father. I would like my children to love me. Fathers, let me ask you, how much do you love God? Do you love God enough to let that love fall upon your children? Do you love the moment? Do you love in the manner that Tim Burke loved? Do you love with a willingness to give to give up in order to get? Do you love like the prodigal father? I want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day, first off. Second off, I want to close with this. Malachi 4:6. And he will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the land with a curse. Give your children your hearts, and in return you will get theirs. Wanting to buy your children gifts from time to time is great, but you cannot expect children to be bought. Children's love to be bought either. Just like your own love cannot be bought. Neither can your kids. When kids need to be rewarded, a simple hug or I'm proud of you does wonders. Your children want affection too. Have a great Father's Day. And now for a benediction, Pastor Jessica.
Thank you for that really nice Father's Day sermon, Deacon Joshua. And close with my benediction. Here's mine. We are here today to thank all fathers on this day. We honor these men every June for the roles in our lives, being an uncle, father, grandfather, or brother. There's an old saying, any man can be a father. It takes a real man to be a dad. I'm lucky and honored to have my father with me. Some dumb, and some don't. I say to these people and children, you're still loved. Just tell them, thank you, Dad. Thank you for thanking me. That's all you can say. On a happier note, I myself say Happy Father's Day to my father, Pastor Peter, and to my brother-in-law, Deacon Josh. Happy Father's Day to everyone, and take care and God bless.